tournament, Chaos Comedy Tour, you have a fantastic matchup tonight. We have Caleb versus LordFizzlebeef. Uh, Two titans of the Randomizer community are going head to head. This is a best of three. Round of 8 flags are the same as round of 16, so no major changes. We are still doing Monster in a Box. Obviously, all your standard, things to complete the game. We want to kill as many fiends as fast as possible and kill chaos as fast as possible. I am John, joined by Rock Solid in the booth. Rock, how are you tonight?
Oh, I'm doing great, and I am really hyped to see this race. LordFizzlebeef just knocked me out of the tournament on Sunday. So, no bias, but I'm pulling for him to go all the way. On the other hand, though, we've got Caleb. Caleb is just as bigger in this community. Also another person that's been there running lots of races. There's never anybody who runs more races just on a pickup basis than Caleb. He loves it. I have no idea who's going to advance here. I'm so excited. And here we've got a 4-forced party setup that looks pretty interesting.
Yeah, wow, you said it. Our blurting tonight. So Black Belt got plus 15 vitality and can swing an X-Cal. But for the negatives, has minus 20 hit points to start and Black Mage strength. The Black Mage got plus 20 hit points to start, able to wear the white shirt. However, cannot wear any cereals, also known as those bracelets, and has -1 MDef per level. The Red Mage is plus 2 level 1 MP and plus 10 luck. However, they have Black Mage vitality and -10 strength. With those blurstings in mind, Rock, what are your thoughts on this party comp?
Yeah, well, I'm pretty happy that I rolled a black belt if I'm playing this one, because basically the black belt's malices don't matter. Negative to strength doesn't affect the black belt at all. His damage is based on his level, and that's where it ends. So I like that I've got a black belt. I'm feeling like that black mage is going to be pretty squishy, and I'm basically just hoping that I'm going to get some kind of good sweeper that I can level up that black belt. That's all I care about, is getting him functional. Maybe some fasts and tempers will be helpful, and we're about to take a look at level 1 magic right now as we see Life 2 is going to be Red Mage learnable in slot number 2.
Oh, lit 3 on fast. Oh, that Black Mage has it. The Black Mage is lit. And what's nice, what's nice is lit 3 was super cheap at $18, so gives you a little extra cash to work with.
No doubt, you said it. The magic is fantastic. It's cheap. We've even got great armor. We've got a chain armor. It did roll down, but that'll help that red mage survive these early encounters. We've got an iron armor. That's basically a gold bracelet for sale in Corneria for a fighter, but unfortunately no fighters here. Housing a little bit expensive, that hurts, but it's good to know that they're here in Corneria. Caleb heading back and picking up some small +3 knives. Gonna go for damage strats. I don't know if I would bother with that if I've got lit 3 on both of my casters, but Caleb's been around longer than me. LordFizzlebeef, though, continuing with this theme. Oh man, we're gonna see this in action tonight. LordFizzlebeef is all about the speed and power, does not break for anything, and head straight into Temple of Fiends.
Stay outside, check the test. There's a forgettable heal pot there, so based on where everybody puts their party, I'm gonna postulate that obviously the one that he called dead, Fizzlebeef is gonna knock that black belt down right away because you don't need to. I'm curious to see if Caleb has put that red mage up front because he has the chain armor and can soak up a blow or two. Because obviously when you have -20 hit points to start on those black belts, they're
Yeah, I think he touched on it just there. Caleb has now reset twice as when his red mage has gone down. So the reason why the red mage is there, it's not because he wants to Dan it, it's because he thinks it has the best chance of surviving a hit, which is funny when your black mage has more hit points than anybody else. But it's just the way that they're bursting rolled. The only thing that was bad for these black belts is that they did have that -20 HP starting off. So they're not going to be at good HP until about level 6, and that's the reason why Caleb has gone with the Red Mage in front. I'm interested though why he didn't at least sacrifice one of his black belts. You don't really need two under normal circumstances.
Running out of the Northwest Test and POS. Fizzlebeef obviously picking that up. He's making some prime purchases, maxing out on doing a lot of heal pots. We saw the bottle off of one of the royals, and I think we got also the step. This these flagships, you come with free bridge and free canoe. So really nice mobility early on. You can go anywhere in the inner sea, and we see that Provoca leads to on rack. That is our first. I forgot to mention we are on Hound Shuffle.
Yeah, and LordFizzlebeef showing off the advantages that early ship gives you. I love an early ship with these flags. You can do a lot of exploration, and you don't have to worry about encounters on your way. You don't know what towns are going to be good. You don't know where you're going to get resources. LordFizzlebeef heading for 2 key early chests in the Dwarf Cave. It sounds laughable that this is what we're going to be looking for. He picks up a copper bracelet in the pure. This seed is really making us work for it as LordFizzlebeef bonks against the canal and realizes he doesn't have it. Is he going to go early marsh? He has to check Provoca first. He has to.
Yeah, I mean, he
doesn't.
Oh, he didn't check Alfred. This is an aggressive play. Definitely is.
Again, the speed and power that LordFizzlebeef is leaning into. I really feel like we're witnessing somebody who is playing at the top of their game right now. LordFizzlebeef knows exactly where to draw the line between the risk and reward, heads into that early marsh. I wouldn't have done it. I would have checked Elfland first. I would have checked Crescent first while we're at it. You need some magic, you need some transport, but not LordFizzlebeef. He's saying, I want to know what this item is. I can at least find that out. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay, we're definitely running into a little bit of a scary pack here. Multiple bones, multiple crawls. Yes, you have Ice 3. Yes, you have Lit 3. However, if they're not, Ice 3 is not going to be fantastic down here. Lit 3 is going to get you around. Looking over here, I see. Okay, so Caleb. Oh wow, that's on Fizzlebeef's side. Finds the key item, finds Crystal in Marsh immediately. Okay,
yeah,
that paid off.
This is exactly what I was just talking about. I mean, when you have the guts to go for a play like this, sometimes it pays off. And for LordFizzlebeef, somehow it just keeps paying off. We all saw this, where he dominated everybody in the play-in race by about 6 minutes. And then he came through and he's just cleared a swath to the round of 64, the round of 32, the round of 16, and now here he is in the round of 8 against Caleb, and he's solidly in the lead with that crystal. That might turn into something important.
I mean, it gives you visibility. I do want to call out something funny on Caleb's side. He has the backwards walking kind of edit to his flag. It is permanent safe, so you are not seeing something weird. He just likes that. And let's see here. In Elfland, he finds actual Crescent Lake, which is good because that would be a free key item.
Yeah, and this is where the swings of fortune really play big in these flags. I mean, if Caleb comes away with something like the floater here, then LordFizzlebeef could get stuck doing quest chains in the inner sea looking for the canal. On the other hand, if Caleb gets something like the rod, something that's not immediately useful, and we see it is the Oxyale, so that's exactly what I'm talking about, not immediately useful, LordFizzlebeef is going to make his way around to checking this before going down to the northern area. So advantage LordFizzlebeef right now. I just want to call out one quick strat though from Caleb. Did fill his inventory with small knives and the chain armor, so maybe we'll save some time against picking fights. LordFizzlebeef, I know, is a proponent of the I'm going to take monster in a box fights because I want the experience.
So one thing is, so Fizzlebeef has, LordFizzlebeef has that crystal in his pocket, so he knows it's going to turn into something. It could turn into canal, or it could turn into floater, obviously, for mobility, but canal has to obviously be in the inner sea. You can't lock yourself within it, unless you were to, and you find. Oh, going over to Was that Crescent? Did we find Provoke in Crescent?
We did. So that's
Okay.
Provoca in the Crescent location, which is big for Caleb. We're going to get another key item here. And once again, another opportunity for Caleb to sneak an early advantage here on LordFizzlebeef. But at the same time, LordFizzlebeef's heading up to Matoya. We're going to see what that item is in just a second. But what this Vicky gives us, he gives us the key. That's another inner C check.
And Crystal leads to a ruby. As of right now, nothing you can do with it. Finding the key though finding the key at what is Provoca. That's good. You can when you make your way around. You can check. You obviously Canary Lots is the first thing you do. Now you have one of the 3 items you like to have. The non-essential item when you check dwarves, because if you obviously get key and or adamant, you can make multiple checks. This early in the seed, I would be checking tests because you are looking for a little bit of protection. Let's see our magic. Not really much going in level 2 white. What's level 2 black? Lock, stun, blind. Lock is the only thing good here. So Fizzle has the Oxyale in hand. Is he going to try? No. He's gonna try. He's trying at this level. He has lit 3, 2 passes it. Maybe he's just gonna take a quick sticky test.
Yeah, LordFizzlebeef going mermaid side, and I actually like the play. The only thing I don't like about this is that we've got the key, which means that TFC is actually in play. But LordFizzlebeef is playing this straight. What you do is you check these 2 chests on your way down to Mermaid. See if you can survive this ghost pack. That's going to be a problem. But if it works, LordFizzlebeef could come out with either a lot of experience or the item or both. And again, this is what's beating power. It can work for you or it can blow up in your face.
So unfortunately, that Life 2 wasn't actually learnable in level 1. It was White Mage only.
Oh, you're correct. It was in slot 2. I get that backwards sometimes.
This is rough. Yep.
Yeah.
Those pack of ghosts at these levels, you're not surviving a 4 or 5 pack of ghosts. Let alone, even 3 would be dicey.
No, but I like the persistence here. You're probably not going to keep encountering them over and over again. It's not that far down to the mermaid floor. It's a gutsy place, but it's worthwhile. Caleb, on the other hand, back to Corneria, going to see what that key turned into. Another great thing about the key, this gives us access to early grind locations. We've got Topher, we've got Northwest Castle. So Caleb, I would say potentially pulling ahead here, but it's all going to hinge on what's down here in C.
There it
Caleb
is.
finds a canal.
There you go. That's your ticket out. Maybe. Mazda plus 3. Weapon drop it. Oh. Okay. You give that to your top black belt. That's a game changer right there. Oh my god.
Mazimmune plus 3, that's a max roll for these flags. That's going to help the black belt get up to whatever levels you need it to be. Caleb's got out of the inner C, but interestingly doesn't have the ruby. Is probably not going to go to Marsh for a while. What if the floater is behind Sarda?
You never know. This is the risk you take by not checking Ice or Marsh before you get out. He sees the oh man. Fizzle lost his guys. I wonder.
Yeah, LordFizzlebeef definitely struggling in C, getting glanced by Paralisks, almost a little bit of vanilla action there, turned to stone by those birds, but staying on it. And this is where LordFizzlebeef's speed and power strats can be a double-edged sword. You will see him go and go and go and potentially get tilted. Is that going to happen here? Are we going to see LordFizzlebeef lose that early advantage that he's so carefully crafted?
Yep, because you have Caleb dropping in the earth, going to check grind tiles. obviously find gray worms. They're a little bit chunky. Ooh, there goes his black belt and his red maid. Okay, can you get through this, Caleb? Nope. Oh yeah, so he checked it quickly. Doesn't want any part of it.
Yeah, and I don't love Caleb's position here, not having saved. He can't see what the other grind tiles are. Is going to continue to check Northwest Castle, though. I think that's a good idea. Oh
yeah,
no,
he's passing
right
on.
on.
He's making the ordeals.
Without
ordeal
warp?
play.
Without levels?
Yeah, that's the only way. That's the only place he's going. Okay. Fizzle is trying the entrance of Steve. He's trying to see if he can pick up some future levels. This is a fourth dive into the front of Steve Grind. And you can see him. I saw him put we do have the advantages of having some visibility to the runners, obviously with their with these cameras on. So you saw a little bit of frustration on his side. And I do want to correct myself. Caleb is not doing ordeals. He's going and checking the Unrack continent. I think he's going to check Unrack proper, see where it leads you. Elflin. That's a good find. And he finds level 3 warp. On grass.
Yeah, so this is huge, and Crabcake's calling that in chat, looking for Elfland, finding it. This is going to be big for Magic, but not only this, we've got 1, 2 chances at a vendor item, and we've got a guaranteed item in the waterfall. So this is a bit of a bonanza spot. LordFizzlebeef, though, continuing to try and dip C, and it's starting to feel like it's not working for him with Caleb getting this transport magic, checking armor, maybe looking for pro rings. There they are for 8k, doesn't have the money. He's going to check for this item. What's it going to be? Is it a floater for sale? Nothing here, but we're going to see level 4 magic. He dips back, maybe going to pick up some cabins.
So it looks like Fizzlebeef is just trying to do really cheeky levels right at the beginning. He saw some things. See here, quick. But you get lift to level 4 and Quay. Level 4 black is nothing to write home about. I think I saw we do get life 1 at level 3 white. So you do have resurrection ability right now. If I can, it was red mage learnable. So we have life. That's good. Unfortunately, not life 2. Oh, we're getting terrible turn order on these Sigmar fights.
Yeah, John, this is Final Fantasy Randomizer. Let's be straight here. We do not have life. Jokes aside, Caleb is into the ice cave, having a little bit of trouble with these mud goals. You kind of need Fade or Nuke to deal with them under normal circumstances. That black belt's hitting pretty hard, but Caleb's going to reset through, and this could be a situation where maybe a little bit of mirroring going on. You may find that Caleb has trouble getting to this item, but if he does, he can at least warp out.
That's one big difference, and you know, I'm finding the same exact pack on Phillips. I believe he's finding this off of, it looks like he's finding this off the hard reset. Those Wednesday hacks are rolling really high, so it takes a 350 plus split 3 to take out in one hit. He's snagging some levels. No, he is actually trying to dive. Every time he goes down there, this feels more and more like desperation rather than a strategy.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that read. I mean, it comes down to the stubbornness that is LordFizzlebeef's strength and weakness. Caleb, though, I mean, in a similar situation potentially here. The Wiz Mummy's rolling very high on HP, as you just said. We've got rock mud goals that we can't really kill. We've only got level 10 here. Of the two, I think the waterfall play is the easier one to pull out of a hat just because it's shorter, but man, Caleb keeps getting these Wiz Mummy packs.
Yeah. No, another one for his monster of Civil and some decent experience. He got some really good, really lucky turn order RNG Oh, dang. Oh, man. Oh, so this is not... Okay. Fizzle is abandoning ship. He is not going for Onrak. He is not going for... He's not going for the, for that sea shrine number 6.
No, and this has to feel bad. Still, though, this could work for LordFizzlebeef because we haven't seen what's in ice. We don't know if there's good grinds in there. We don't know if the floater's in there. Caleb just picked up the loot in the waterfall cave, which, yeah, it's required, but it's not going to help you get to where you need to go. May potentially lose it here to one of these monster in the boxes if he's not careful. LordFizzlebeef is not out of it, despite losing, what are we now, 10 minutes to that sea attempt? LordFizzlebeef could still easily pull out ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so only one monster box. It was a couple of Cerebus, and it wasn't... they jumped you, but they weren't hitting too hard. Caleb, is he going to attack? Okay, he got some really good casts out of some of those boxes. I think he's gonna get back in here, gonna use some of that on Pro Rings. He's gonna drop. He's gonna grab 2 Pro Rings. Looks like he's prioritizing Red Mage and his Black Mage. So obviously the chances of an instant dash on his Black Bolt still kind of high for now. Does he check? Yes, he is gonna check the vanilla caravan to see if maybe that's where we get our items. Gets a nice roll on that list 3 and he puts out that Osho quickly. These are level 12. So starting to get into slightly better territory for it. Oh, this is the rough pack. Those frosters hit like semi-trucks and gets away.
Yeah, I just want to jump in here and say, if you're ever looking for a gif of sad Final Fantasy runners, take a look at these 2 cameras right now. We've got 2 runners that both think they're way behind. LordFizzlebeef just found the key in Crescent, which is available right from the beginning of the game. Knows that Caleb must have found that early on. Caleb, on the other hand, just wiped a bunch of times in Waterfall, basically comes out of the northern continent empty-handed, sailing all the way back. He's going to have to find that Ruby and Marsh cave to get the progression that they're both looking for.
It's possible. However, in this area, I think he's actually going to check ordeals, which is not bad. He's making, when you have obviously early sip and you have the free canoe, it's much quicker to check ordeals if you're in that area. So he's gonna get there and not terrible on the red maze. Those catmen are a little bit dicey. I was just saying this is good. Check ordeals while you're here. I would have maybe checked ordeals before going to the Onrak continent, but either one is fine. When you have Concept on and you've already seen Onrak, you obviously are coming here to try to do the actual vanilla on, right? We have vanilla sea grind. But this is a fair play. We don't know what Ruby is going to turn into. However, we do know that something is going to be here at Ordeals. What? That's still obviously up in the air.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't want to commentate or curse anything, but we could be looking at a vanilla tail. Both of these runners are experiencing a lot of adversity right now in the overworld, having to take tough resets back to difficult positions. This, I'm chalking up to tilt. But you're right that I would say that Caleb, you're making the right play. You're checking that ordeals. You do have warp. There are trap tiles in here. Everything could turn around. LordFizzlebeef, on the other hand, going to Ice Cave, doesn't have warp. And, he feels very behind right now.
Yeah, and Hydras are very punchy, very nasty in here. So he's, as you mentioned, no exit, no warp at this time for Fizzle is definitely weighing on him because Caleb, obviously has warp strat for dealing with the mixed up pillars in ordeal. That makes it a bit more palatable. Don't. He's using up lots of warp charges and he's run out. And
Yeah, he's mixed up.
okay.
Happens to the best of us.
Yep. Okay. Fizzle dropping ice. Dropping into ice feels a little dicey, but you never know. Oh, and Caleb found a pack of sea scrolls. Luckily, they're kind of paper thin. Doesn't see the bane that Lord Fizzlebeef saw in the Sea Shrine, so lucky for him. And a reasonable pack of Whiz Mummy and mummies.
Yeah, this is one again, and it's one that you could take to mid levels. The Whiz Mummies themselves have rolled up on HP, but if I've been hearing up Caleb, I've got like 3. I might think about taking it to level 16.
Yeah.
Caleb moving on though.
Okay. Nice chunk of kings there. That money's been a little bit thin, so that's a feel good test, feel good find. Wait a second. Okay, find the herb. So back to the inner sea. And yeah, nothing going here. That trap cow is garbage.
Yeah, this is a push. It's actually good for Caleb though. That's the direction that Caleb wants to head in anyways, to check things that are coming up. The Elf Castle is directly north of where Caleb's current position. That could turn into the floater. Caleb would be ahead if that happened, but we've got Lord Fizzlebeef though, in Ice Cave. This is important, does have a black belt down already. That has to feel bad. Finds an excellent grind, but the rock galls just saying, hey, we're made of rocks, you should be made of rocks. We're gonna hit you both with crack and turn you to stone. And look at the expression on Lord Fizzlebeef's poor face.
Oh man, classic gamer dropping a dime here with the LSB nickname, looking badly frustrated, or frustrated badly. Oh man. Oh wow. Okay, let's see what this herb turns into. Okay, TNT, another inner sea check. While he's in the area, are we going to see Caleb drop? I'm hoping that we see him drop over. Okay, we're going to do a garden set check. Couple quick tests.
Yep, and this is where we might see the glimmer
Thorhammer.
Yeah, Thorhammer there. That's going to be helpful for that caster of Lit 2. Did roll +3 as well, so useful if we had a white mage.
But
Caleb, we might see a little bit of a glimmer of hope here. If that TNT could turn into something useful.
Mm-hmm. And here's the thing: now actually routing. It's unfortunate, but what you could do is, if he decides to, no, he's not gonna walk. I thought maybe he was gonna walk to Marsh, but walk to Marsh, then stroll up to the dwarf cave. But looks like we're skipping Marsh for now. Maybe coming back when we actually have a floater. All right, let's see what Fizzlebeef finds. Okay, Grims and werewolves, jumpy pack, not terrible. I think Grims had like some low level spells, so. Alright, let's see. We're gonna make our way through this pack. Oh, we have frost gators with crack. That is painful.
Yeah, Lord Fizzlebeef struggling a little bit with those gators, getting them down though. Caleb, though, is actually taking advantage of a better docking position for Marsh, and this was something that, anyhow, it's faster if you dock in that river dock and then you go down. If it were me, I would have checked the TNT first and then utilized this, but Caleb might be playing the odds here, could come up with the adamant, and then only have to do one dwarf dive.
Yeah. This is gonna be nice for him. He's obviously going top shelf first, or top level first. He's gonna find the quick crystal. He has warp, so he's gonna be able to boogie out quicker than Fizzlebeef did. That would be very nice. And then when he actually heads north to go check it, he finds the crystal. So he's like, great, I have another inner sea stack. If he turns that into 4 TNT, then obviously he can backtrack, hit TNT, going over and hitting Ruby would be the play. However, he's probably going to drop Dwarf first if he can do TNT plus the Dwarf Armory check right away.
Yeah, no doubt. With that key, you're going to go down there. You've got Warp as well. You can bust back out. Chat talking about how Caleb didn't save before going into Marsh. I'm thinking that was probably a setup. If Caleb did go into Marsh and found something he didn't need, could have potentially reset out and gone back up and checked the dwarves, just looking to shave off any spare seconds he possibly can there. And that may have been the ticket, but we're about to see what this TNT turns into, and that's going to be a new piece of information as Caleb gives us 1, 2,
Hooray.
that's 3 cheers from Hooray Dwarf.
Hooray. Okay. Well, we have a crown, another inner sea check, and I turned into the tail. That is a feel bad. Ouch. Oh, gassy monster in the box. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Can you get through this? Oh. I don't. Oh. He saw something he wanted. Can you make your way through? Can you get turn order? And no, they're kind of chunky. They're hitting hard and they got a lot. Oh dear. Okay, well, you go back to Dwarf, you grab your crown, you skip that box. You would love to be able to pick something up, and LordFizzlebeef, are you not healing your? Are you out of stuff?
LordFizzlebeef has been playing pretty aggressively and may not have any items. I don't think he's done a lot of stops at item shops. That's probably going to change starting from his next town visit. I think we're going to see him transition into a more calm style of play now. He's pretty much seen all of the bad stuff that you could possibly see in this early game, and the reflexes, the trained Final Fantasy Randomizer player in him is going to come out now. We're going to see him lock in, and we're going to see this race enter a new phase.
Oh wow, yeah, he just getting picked apart. That poor black belt. Okay, katana, don't need that. That's a sad noise for any of our fans. Okay, nothing there. Just a little bit of gold. Yeah, he was out of all his stuff. Okay, bring up Punt and bring up Fang. Astos has the adamant. Oh man, he has to go and do a second dip. At least he doesn't have to triple dip. Oh man, this is are we? We're gonna see a upgrade? No.
So LordFizzlebeef has money, has items. At this point, just looking for some kind of advantage. Does find a Tyro. I don't know if this is off the power cycle, but if it is, we could potentially see LordFizzlebeef take grind here. Does have to do about 500 or 600 damage to that Tyro to get it down.
Yeah, that doesn't work, but Caleb finds Ermeduces on one of the tiles in Northwest Castle. This is reasonable. You can take that.
You definitely can. We've got loot 3. We're going to be able to wipe those down. No problem. That's 4,000 a pop. That's basically, a single eye level of experience or Agama level of experience one-on-one. So Caleb's going to take this, and it's going to be interesting to see how high Caleb will go with this particular party, because it's going to be tricky to take all 3 of them up to level 32. I don't think we're going to see that.
Yeah, I think you're gonna probably do 2-man because you can't. They rolled up a little bit, so one Thor hammer use is not keeping them down. You are getting. They're just a little bit north of 100 hit points, so roughly just under 140. Yeah,
Yep.
4,200 off of 3 people. You drop another person. Okay, so we saw 2 packs of 6, another pack of 4. They're hitting really hard on that black mage, but they're not doing too bad on their top 2 characters.
Yeah, Chad making a good point. We do have 4 peds there, just off to the right-hand side. So Caleb might get up to 21, might 2-man for a while, or might switch over to those peds for, well, level 32, I guess would be reasonable, 4 peds.
Okay.
So we've got 2 runners on screen, both of whom probably feel very behind, both of whom are doing their grinds at the exact same time, but each of whom have chosen an entirely different place and an entirely different way to get it done. I have to say that I like this Tyro grind from LordFizzlebeef. It's better for his black belt. It's gonna get you all the way up to level 32 if that's what you want to do. And LordFizzlebeef may very well go for that.
Meantime, though, okay, so we see Caleb is moving characters around. He's about to stack out that black mage, and as your black belt picks up a little bit of steam, you know, having one caster to kind of back him up a little bit makes sense. If I'm taking either of these 2, we're starting to get a little bit of power out of Fizzlebeef, but that Tyro's still punching real hard, and I'm not feeling safe yet. That Tyro, if you drop the red mage, that's only going to be 5,000. See here. Based on this, I think Caleb is getting ready to drop the red mage soon. Maybe? Yeah, he's not healing up red mage. Okay, gets jumped, so it's gonna get some turn order assistance here. I like the Grim Reduces because so far we've had plenty of battles and I see no script from them. They're punchy. $7,400 for two people. That's a really good steal. As you get that black belt up a little bit more, he's obviously going to have to use the Thor hammer 2 to 3 times, but he has plenty of hit points to soak up the blows. It's going to be a little slow, but now you're going to get 14,000 a crack on some fights. That's feeling pretty good. Let's see where we're at with LordFizzlebeef 1.
It's funny. I think the fights are pretty equal because if it takes you 3 turns to get 15,000, that's the same as taking 1 turn to get 5. LordFizzlebeef, though, not getting the Tyros in 1 turn, not yet, will though eventually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he's at 17 on his red base, 18 on his black belt. You have level 20. What do we got here? 25 on Caleb's side, so a little bit ahead. So he can just continue to push this. Get a couple of good 6 and 7 packs, then the experience will rack up pretty quickly. I think he'll stay ahead a little bit. But as we know right now, Fizzle hasn't actually gotten to the point where he's getting 5,000 a fight. He's still splitting it with that red mage. Until he drops that red mage, there's no, he's still operating on a really slow go.
Yeah, but the tide's going to turn very quickly here because we're at level 19 on that black belt. This will probably take us to 20. Once we get to 21, that's when you're going to see Lord Fizzlebeef down that red mage, and you're going to see him potentially taking down the Tyros in one hit.
For anybody who joined us late, welcome to the booth. Welcome to the stream tonight. We have two very experienced runners going up in the round of 8. Stone Flags is a round of 16. So Free Bridge, Free Canoe. We have Monster in the Box. We have Town Temple. We got some pretty generous blurtings on the black belt. And not too savvy on the red mage, but the black mage is super squishy. So right now, we're watching our 2 runners work their way slowly through their black belt grind. Looks like Lord Fizzlebeef has chosen to punch that that red mage to the top to stack that sooner. He's not quite at the time where he can punch through that Tyro by himself. Oh, looks like he's 2-turning it.
Yeah, he's at level 20. He's about to hit 21. This is the time to down the red mage. Lord Fizzlebeef has moved the red mage up into the top slot. We're going to see it die very quickly now. And this is where the Tyro grind is going to start to matter. And Lord Fizzlebeef doesn't have to stop at 32 like Caleb almost certainly will. With these Medusas, could continue all the way up to 42.
Yeah, at 5,000. Okay, so he gets the first breakpoint at 21. So, at 5,000 a pop, I don't know if going from 32 to 42 is an effective use of time. That's that will take a bit of time. However, the monsters are doing mostly a good service in terms of taking out his red mage, but he's still not quite set up yet there. Back on Fizzle, so he has this grind. He also has a couple things to turn in. He has the adamant, and he has the bottle. Obviously, no access to the Gaia. We haven't found Gaia yet, so nothing going there. What did we find? What did we find off of Astos? Yeah, that was the adamant. So that right now is, and he also hasn't turned in his crystal, so he doesn't have Ruby yet. So 2 diverging paths right now. We know that Ice is dead end because it's tail, and tail for this party is not applicable. You don't care about the tip of the tail right now. Let's watch on Fizzlebeef's side. Oh, those Pyros are actually challenging. He did 6 hit 490. He did not take them out in 1 hit. So we're at 500 plus on those Pyros. And we have 32 over on Caleb's side, so your second breakpoint that you want to be focusing on. Good. It looks like he's going to take it further. So right now, we got a couple of minutes ahead of us of just not the most optimal grind, but the runners are making it work the best they can. Those 5 died early on for Fizzle into Deep Grind. They do feel bad right now because that was a lot of time lost, and yeah, you're in proximity, so once you get your black belt to a much better spot, you can drop down there, and you might even be able to go down and consider Kraken if you want. But at the same time, as of right now, you got to still go. You're not going down there until you're 32 plus. Where are we on Caleb's side? I think we're gonna need another Thor Hammer or two to get through this pack. Fizzlebeef is at 26, so looking about three battles to get a level right now. Caleb is at 34. If Caleb's able to pull more of if he gets lucky and pulls more of the 6 and 7 Germedusa fights, then it makes this much more worth it. When he's pulling the 4 or 5, obviously it's slowing him down a little bit. That's the you don't have the Adored pack. Fizzle's still not quite there on one-shotting these Tyros. So when he hits 32, obviously he will be one-shotting them. When he hits the 8-hit break point, or if he's able to get some good crits off of that. So he's 4 levels away from 32. Not a bad spot. He's getting closer. So when it comes, I'm going to catch a rib. When it comes to exploration, we have a little bit more on Caleb's side. He has a handful of levels. I would give him a couple of minutes edge. Overall, he has the levels. He has a few more things to check. From where he is right now, drop in, check the adamant, head over to Crystal, get that ruby. Melman Continent is probably, he's going to backtrack that. He did stop early to see grind tiles in Earth and did not find anything. To catch everybody up, he is at level 36 with his black belt, so he's close. Not quite there yet. Fizzle is he's not at 32 yet. He's still at 6 hits.
Yeah, I think we're looking at a dead heat right now, John, and I'll tell you why. LordFizzlebeef has the ruby, and they both have the Oxyale. One of those things leads to something critical next, and neither of them have access to the airship, so they're both kind of floundering around. Either we get the floater or we get... Well, I think that's what we get next, because we need the cube and the chime in order for progression to be in sky, and all we need for Earth is to just find the Ro8 at some point. So it feels like we've got a bit of a choke point here, and I'm thinking it's the ruby, but it could also be whatever's in C. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
Well, it could be, like I said, we haven't turned in adamant yet, so that's another one. We turned in TNT, that gave us the crown. Crown led to adamant. That's a quick check. I mean, where you're at, and obviously in where you're at in the Northwest Castle, you can make that check pretty quick. I'm loving these names that we're changing up for LordFizzlebeef, Lemony Fresh Blurs. It looks like did he end at 32? I think he did.
Must have done.
Yeah.
Crabcake's calling him a 32 stop in chat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all right. Lock 2 and sleep at level 7 black. Obviously, nothing good there. Oh, and exit slot 1 level 7. I think that's red mage. Is that red mage? Red wizard learnable? I think so. But again,
that's a great question. I actually have a chart that I printed out for this very occasion, and I refer back to it often. And we have white magic for the red mage is at level 7 for Onrak. The first slot is red wizard learnable, not red mage learnable.
Okay, so if he, well, you don't want to exit at level 7. by the time you have enough charges for level 7, you don't need it. And once he actually finds warp, then exit becomes actually kind of moot. All right, Fizzle is making the sea shrine. We are going to see a TFC sighting. It's a heal pot.
Not quite, but what about TFC North?
That's true. Okay.
Nothing. We're looking at left side after all that.
Well, he hasn't actually made it to Mermaid proper.
Oh, hasn't he? Okay.
No. So he's got to do the long haul all the way across the floor. It's obviously a whole lot easier with that 32 black belt versus when he dove in here and had what? 30.
Oh, level 9.
Yeah, level 9. Yeah, it was super weak. Okay, Caleb, just remember he has the adamant. Doing his little moonwalk, a little hooray for us. Oh, and then was it? Floater. That's a feel good. Oh, that's a feel good for Caleb.
Caleb's got his grind done. He's got his floater found, and that's the difference right now. Caleb's going to be in the air at about the 49.5-minute mark. This is big for Caleb.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see what Mermaid. What does Mermaid deliver?
Probably Chime.
Okay, he's checking the checking the gold -3. It's a roll down, but oh, you grab it. Oh, that's right. You can't put it on your dude. But gold -3 is better than a change -2. Right.
Does Fizzle not have exit? I thought he had that at level 1.
No. Exit isn't level 1. Exit is level 7. It's fine from +3. Not a terrible thing to swing for that red mage, but again, you're not really gonna be swinging that when you have that amazing black belt.
Yeah, I don't love these mermaid checks right now. I mean, what's Lord Fizzlebeef looking for? He's got a black belt. He's got good spells.
He's looking for the item. I mean, we have an incentive to leave, or say random in up. It's required, but you don't want it now. He finds cube, so C is required. Mermaid side.
Okay. So Lord Fizzlebeef finding the cube on Mermaid side, getting lucky and finding that. It's gonna walk it out, gonna see if we can get past these ghost packs. Caleb, on the other hand, is over to Gaia, has found Gaia, looking into the armor shops, maybe checking for silver plus, since gold rolled down, and gonna continue up, do some item restocking here.
There's your slab.
Seen the bottle yet, but here's the vendor item. It's the slab at 31k.
Yep. So you get your slab and you get a bottle turn in. So this is nice for Caleb to get two items out of the way, 2 stacks. We still don't know. Now here's the thing. Floater was behind adamant. Ruby wasn't essential. Ruby's only essential if you chose to walk it over to Sarda. Now Caleb wouldn't. I don't believe he checked Sarda. He went really quickly to check town.
I believe you're right. So that's probably something he will take care of after we see this bottle check, and maybe get the slab translated at the same time. Caleb deciding, hey, we'll break for white shirt can be helpful as an Invincible cast in the late game.
Yep, you never know. So bottle you got super early, but turns into essentially nothing. I mean, essentially nothing. Oh, finds Melman in the Gaia spot, so this is nice. As Tier 4, Red Mage Learnable, very nice. Fire 3, Super Sweeper for both. Quad X for the Black Mage Learnable. Obviously, always Black Phase Oracle. What am I saying here? Not a bad selection there.
Yeah, Lord Fizzlebeef will tell you that Quad X is the best spell in the game. I don't know if I agree with that statement, and certainly not when you find it at level 5. It's still great to have, though. You can pretty much use that to help you finish off beam fights. Caleb heading back to Provoca. What are we doing here? Maybe have gotten a little bit mixed up. Looking to cash that slab in, I think, right now.
Yeah. Okay. Gonna drop in. Gonna check. Okay. What does starter turn into? And then oh, Bracket is hitting hard. That was 9 hits, 252, and again. Oh, Fizzle lost all that progress. Did he save after? Did he save after getting 2? I think he did.
I don't know if he did, and he's headed away now, which makes sense because you know you don't need the cube until you have the chime. So if a dungeon's got your number, yeah, go and take a look at some other things. I mean, this has got to be just the toughest seed that Lord Fizzlebeef has ran in a while, just in terms of things have been going. Caleb, on the other hand, is deep into Earth, of all places.
Yeah,
gonna take this down, and I'm not really sure why you would do Earth early like this, but I'm sure Caleb has a great reason for it.
Okay. Yeah, he's at 53 minutes. He wants an Orblet. He got Rod at Sarda. On your way back from Sarda, you're passing right by you're obviously passing right by Earth. Why not just do it? However, Earth is the closest fiend orb to Chaos, so usually most runners like to save it for last for go mode. Caleb hasn't quite checked OG Melman. When he does, he'll find LaFang so he can turn in that translated. Okay. Fizzlebeef finds the worm, the gray worms, and then finds wyverns and worms.
Yeah, not great tiles. We haven't seen this one down below yet, but I mean, a grind is not really what Lord Fizzlebeef needs right now. What Lord Fizzlebeef needs right now is to play the game, and unfortunately, he's just been nailed so many times by C in a row that it's hard to keep going at this point. But what he needs to do is he needs to head down to the northern continent and get the progression that's going to end up leading to that floater. It's a lot of checks, but that's probably where we're going to see him go next after checking the ruby. This is a bit of a liability for Lord Fizzlebeef. Probably going to pull nothing better than the chime over here.
Well, he's going to find... Started with Rod. So, it's required, but this is a feel bad because Caleb got floater off of Adamant, which was off of Crown, which was off of Crown came from Narek, our blacks, which came off of TNT, which came off of Herb, which was out of Ordeals. So Ordeals right now gets you airborne, gets you going, but it's a long time. Caleb invested the time and made it work.
Yeah, and Lord Fizzlebeef resetting right out of that rod and saying, if I don't get the airship, I'm not going to win. I kind of like the play. It's questionable because you could wind up in a situation where you have a floaterless seed, but the chances of that happening are pretty low. Lord Fizzlebeef probably has it worked out, and that's likely just going to only save him time.
Now let's find, obviously the actual LaFang. Gonna get our slab turning. What does that turn into? Time. Okay. He feels good. That's a feel good. Unfortunately, so right now, Caleb is, Caleb's like, okay, well, where do I go for my items? He's gonna turn in Ruby. I'm sorry, Crystal. Get Ruby, and he's gonna be like, I'm so glad I got Floater first. So it's like, yeah. He's gonna find the couch things that Matoya left in her chest. Now he's like, where is my? He's cube away from go mode. So he has to decide what dungeons he wants to do.
Yeah, it looks like gonna head down into Onrak now. This is perfect for Caleb. Gonna come out with a cube. Gonna be able to continue to Sky after this. Volcano is free. Caleb has a clear shot at this point.
Mm-hmm. You wonder where all that money goes. That goes to $3,000 houses. Whew, you go from 400 plus K to 80K. That's a quick way to deplete your funds. LordFizzlebeef does find Elflin, finds that level 3 warp, and I see him. He definitely muttered something under his breath.
Yeah, LordFizzlebeef keeps saying the things he knows that Caleb already has. Caleb, on the other hand, with the Monopoly strats, buying up all the housing in Onrak.
Mm-hmm. We're gonna have to. All right, so Caleb is going. Oh,
left side first.
He's doing the sneaky checks on the first floor, which is always nice to do. But he's gonna go left. He's gonna check all of left side. So, I mean, there's a gap here. There's not enough. I mean, if Fizzle has strength behind him, and okay, he finds Pearl Ring, so this is feel good. Gives him a little bit of safety here. But the time that Caleb invests on the left side is time that Lord Dodson that Fizzle can start to claw back. However, Fizzle has to make the jump into Waterfall. We'll be going in there with reasonable levels. Oh man! And those frost natives with crack, that's painful. Nope. That river system is unforgiving right now. Ah. Okay. Alright, save out, and here we go. The one good thing that might happen for Caleb, as he checks all these tests on the way down to Kraken, he might find himself a ribbon, just out of, if he's checking these density, these mini checks, he could find that. That will give him another edge for his Red Mage. I'm curious to see. Okay, now that he's had his grind up, he does have that second black belt up on the bottom, swinging that Masa, so it's bringing in a little extra DPS. I mean, nothing close to what that top black belt's doing, but it doesn't hurt to have it.
No, it doesn't, and I think this is pretty smart on Caleb's side, putting that Mazamune in the hands of a light warrior that can basically produce, and we're going to see the results of that extra damage dealer in these tough dungeons. For example, LordFizzlebeef has wiped so many times on this sea, and I think we're going to see Caleb go through it. It's partially due to that big black belt, but also having the second one swinging the Mazamune doesn't hurt.
It doesn't hurt at all. Okay, so Fizzle is in the area. He's going to check he's going to check Ordeal, right? Or is he going... Okay, yeah, he's going Ordeal. The way... How far he was going over, I wasn't sure if he was skipping and going to... and looking for maybe to finish off his grind in the desert, but no. He's going to find Herb. That's going to take him on the long chain to Floater. And Floater is required. I'm just trying to think here. Diet is Melman, and the guy with Melman. You turn that in, and Lefane is at Gaia. Yes. So Floater is required because you have to get to what is actual Gaia. To get to what is Melman in this speed, so you transmit a slab. Then you have to take your slab to Lefane, Yeah, hold on, I'm getting myself all confused. Floaters required. It's y'all can laugh at me in chat. I'm spinning myself in circles. It's been a day. It's been a long day.
I'm struggling to remember what that slab turn-in was. If it was something that we need, it might have been cube was in C, so a chime. It was vanilla chime. So yeah, that's gonna make the floater required because you need the chime to get in the sky.
Yeah.
Thank you, Luffy, by the way.
Yeah. That was fine. Yeah. So okay. Oh man. Caleb sees that super punchy Kraken one, but it hits the right person. Takes about half that top black belt's health, but that's a feel good because you soak up all that damage and you make it out there. Very interesting enough, just for fun, he puts the fast on the Mazamoon black belt for fun and takes out Kraken one in one turn. So at 102.55 was it? He has his second Orbital. Now he's going Mermaid side. I think we're going to see a full sweep of the floor immediately preceding. Yep. If my eyes did not deceive me, I did not see a ribbon come out of the left side.
So, no, I don't think we pulled out anything from that left side check.
Well, not the sea scroll, it's the sea snake. So they can, you can get a multi-pack of them. Seafood party platters are dangerous. This is to make water floor and Topher really dicey.
So Caleb probably feels pretty bad having checked left side first and going over to the right. What Caleb doesn't know is how difficult that this sea shrine has been for LordFizzlebeef. And Caleb has not lost the same kind of time to this that LordFizzlebeef has. Taking a look at the tracker, and by the way, shout outs to our tracker, which tonight is Danny3883. We can see that of the required items, both LFB and Caleb are missing something important. In Caleb's case, it's the cube, and in LordFizzlebeef's case, it's the chime. Those are going to be necessary to beat the game. Caleb also has 2 Orblets. They've both got grinds done. So this puts Caleb in the lead. But let's not count LordFizzlebeef out just yet. We haven't seen what Topher has in store, and LordFizzlebeef is definitely on the scent, is cashing in the items and making that progress happen.
So Caleb's going to find his cube in just a second. He's then going to be in go mode. Obviously, he checked the two triple checks first. The two try. I should say the try test right away to see you get lucky there. Gonna find it in the what is that? That was the low left one, or was it this one? No, it's the one to the left here. Caleb is going to be in go mode in. There we go. Caleb feels good. Warp, warp, and warp. So you back out, you heal, you get going. Fizzle's turning in that. Gonna turn that crown. Gonna grab adamant. Gonna see floater. And then probably gonna do a slight face palm. Just knowing that he had the ability to go get. He had the ability to do the ordeal play really early, but made that repeated dive into C. Those 10 to 15 minutes early on just let Caleb slowly scratch out a little bit here, a little bit there. Caleb's like, I got my walking ribbon. I don't want this. Caleb is not opening up any boxes. He didn't find a ribbon on the way down through C. Likely not going to be doing anything else here. Obviously, you saw him skip Armory. You don't need it.
Yeah, you really don't. Caleb is drawing a straight line now. Gonna get this fire temple down and only has one left after that. It's just going to go straight through it. Yeah, this is a really solid advantage to Caleb right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right now it's execution, and Topher's gonna Topher at times. I like to call it the great equalizer. However, what Caleb has on his side of the scale, when you have that 42 plus black belt, anything above 42 is obviously overkill. But he's going to make his way through. So the one thing that I would be concerned about is obviously we've seen some scary sea snakes. You have only one ribbon, and that is obviously your walking ribbon. That being said, he's going to have to kind of time his routing, try to avoid the sea shrine, the sea floor. And at 107, 58, 59, carry 1 is down. It was pretty much a 1 punch. And Caleb is going to do Go Mode Sky, which feels good because you don't have to check anything in any of those excess tests. We know that it's getting power bombed here because Caleb was in ice. Ruby, obviously, he sucked. He didn't suck Ruby, or did he keep it? Either way, it doesn't matter. And when you have this level, when you have fast and a 42 black belt, temper is just icing on the cake.
Yeah, I think with these particular flags, which I'm more familiar with than I would care to admit, the bigger thing that you're concerned about in Temple of Fiends is going to be lock. More than temper, if you've got a 42 black belt, there is still the chance that you might not get a lot of hits. So that's something that I don't recall seeing if he's got lock or lock 2. I feel like he may have gotten lock 2.
We do have a lock. I remember seeing at least one of them.
Yeah, so that's what you need. That's more important in my mind than, well, after fast, and even arguably with fast, that's going to be more important than temper or power buff for sure.
Yeah. Okay, we saw a quick tiki check of the grind tile right there from LordFizzlebeef. I thought we might see some boxes open, but no. We're not going to have any based off of just the density. We're likely stranding one of the ribbons somewhere in Volcano, and likely there's another one probably either in Mirage or Sky, because we know we full cleared seeing got nothing there. LordFizzle, when he went into Canaria Lock, he got the item and he got out. Unfortunately, he misses that +3 Mothmoon, which is just nice to have it for insurance. And it's just going to add you a little bit extra DPS there. Saw a quick spike tile check. Finds the loose Agma. We had that was growth on that spike tile. So, oh no! You could just walk that. Oh man! Oh, it's Pyrometer, obviously. What's in front of, and the Jotunheim pack.
Yeah, after all of that effort that LordFizzlebeef put into finding that Tyro at Peninsula of Power, which is such a veteran move, by the way. Here they are at the Agama tile. That's got to feel bad. LordFizzlebeef continuing through, going to take out carry very quickly. There is a question in chat. It looks like it's been answered, but just in case it hasn't. The question is, what does the lamp spell do? Lamp cures dark, which is a status effect that some enemies can inflict. It's a bit of a joke in the community because the dark status does not really do that much. It's not like later Final Fantasy games where you get blinded and you can't hit anything anymore. In this game, it doesn't really do that much at all. So it's a bit of a whammy spell, but we love lamp.
Yeah. There is a flag in I think it's conveniences or
White magic, yes.
yeah, what that where it makes lamp a little bit better. It gives it a little bit of some kind of not an Isuna, but it gives a little bit of status ailment curing to it, so it's not completely mean. Um, but that said, that is never. I have not seen this turn on any runs, any duckling flags, any instinct flags. I don't think we're ever really going to see that. Caleb has lit his fourth orb at 112.26. Looks like lightly for tossing brisket. Lord Fizzlebeef is going to punch his way down to lit second orb lit roughly by the 115 mark. I think that's why Fizzle is going down here because he's like, I'm at 112. I got to get orbs lit. I'm too far behind.
Yeah, well, here you are, Caleb entering Topher at 1 hour and 13 minutes. Let's call it 1 hour and 13 minutes flat after the warp back in the past. Lord Fizzlebeef, on the other hand, still working on Earth. We're going to see if Topher makes this race enter into a fourth stage, which can happen. You can have Tophers that are so nasty that it's just wipe after wipe, and it's just each runner slugging at the other to see who can get the win. So this is not over yet. As you said before, Topher's the great equalizer. Lord Fizzlebeef finding a pack of lobsters doesn't want to see that. Still looking for some kind of useful stuff here in Earth, and when you're digging for gear with a black belt comp, you know it's desperate.
Well, he's actually not opening boxes. He's just checking grindhouse. I wonder if he's like, just show me what I missed. Because you had the ultimate head fake with when he saw those pyros on the vanilla agama tile. That is a feel bad. But here's the thing: when you're going for a black belt grind in this flag set, I have not seen anybody go and check those grind tiles for their grind. They'll maybe stop there and be like, "Oh, hey, I wonder what's here," but there hasn't been like any sort of focus on there. So if you had made that play down to Volcano and gone all the way to check those tiles, that would have been a big Galaxy Brain play. Nothing major. Earth has mana poison. That's rough. Alright. Fizzle is on lick one. We're gonna fast. And we're gonna punch through that carpet pretty quickly. 16 hits 1280. Second orblet at 114.53. Caleb, on the other hand, is right about on lick one's doorstep. What? Okay. Fizzle is checking QF1 grind tiles. Kurnagas and airs. So yeah. Okay, lift one is down. We saw Blizzard out of lift, so that's some information. Alright. Let me refresh my memory. So Lefane is turning into Gaia. Oh, he rushed. Oh, is this off the power cycle?
It must be. Going by that reaction from Lord Fizzlebeef, it must be.
Oh my god. Yeah. There's some mutterings. Oh.
He wasn't even looking for that. He just found it. And at this point, going to continue on to get items. He doesn't really need more levels. Caleb is deep into Topher right now, so probably it's not going to be an issue, although we haven't seen Kraken, Tiamat, or Chaos yet.
Mm-hmm. We jump by a pack of waters. That's always a feel bad because they always hit hard. And they're even hitting hard on his top black belt. Not having a lot of luck running. Okay, what do you have? You don't have Ice 3 or 2. Come on.
I think we saw it. Let me check my tracker notes here. Danny's been keeping those in good order, so we'll know.
Oh, unrunnable Tophers. Oh, that's rough. Okay, well, Topher dive number 2. Yeah, Terry 2 was a speed bump. Lip 2 was barely even a speed bump. Caleb runs into a pack of 6 waters that jump him, get a ton of damage, and then they refuse to let him run.
Yeah, just confirming, we do have Ice 3. It was at level 1, so we've got a way to get them down if we need to.
I think is Fizzle gonna take this? I think he's gonna take this to finish off his grind because he's not quite 42 yet. Ooh. Yep, he's setting it up. Okay, 1 down, 1 to go. Oh, nice crit from that T-Rex. All right, 14,000. He's at 34. That's 6 steps off the power cycle. Oh man.
Yeah, this is the dream when you've got a black belt, is a power cycle T-Rex, and LordFizzlebeef has it. Just unfortunately a little too late potentially.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is absolutely the best grind to find, but finding the T-Rex off the power cycle is, oh my gosh, we were just talking, Zat and Dark, I'm sorry, Zat and Deadpool were talking about this in our Duckling Week 3 reveal last night when Gregory was running. I think it's a 1 out of 8 chance that the power cycle in the desert is your T-Rex. So it's a low chance. I mean, you also have that possibility of finding Steak and Wings, otherwise known as Tyros and Wyvern.
Well, let's not forget about 2 sandworms.
Yeah, 2 sandworms.
And not to mention that, but we've got, what, 6 different zones that could all yield any one of those.
Yeah. So finding the T-Rex always feels real good, but it's not something that you should rely on. However, okay, let's note that Fizzle he's 42. He's taking it further.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to 50. This is the desperation play. You hope that Topher is really nasty and that your opponent is struggling. We actually do have Caleb fighting Lich again. I looked away. I didn't see what happened.
Yeah. Credit to the water pack. Waters dumped him. Got 6 surprise attacks on him. And then they refused to let him run.
Okay, and there's another thing too, which is we do have Sea Trolls with Bane, if I remember correctly. So that water floor could be a problem.
Yep, Sea Snakes had Bane. So because they can roll, you can have 3 to 4 of them in the in this party platter pack. I'm thinking I'm switching up. Ooh, here's that water fight, and gets away from it. Oh, but fine.
They're ambushing, and this is what we were talking about, John. This Topher is turning out to potentially be an equalizing Topher, because here we have the water floor giving Caleb a lot of problems, forcing him to use heal pots. Still has to walk the majority of the floor, and we haven't seen Kraken 2 yet.
Yeah, because Kraken 1 did Kraken 1 things. Oh, Wednesday Hags are hitting hard. Oof. Oh, yikes. This is a yikes. Okay. You do have life. You have life 1. I haven't been watching the encounter table. So it looks like Caleb luckily gets a string where he's able to. Okay, he's got life. He's got cure 4. So he's got the poor man's life 2. fast on the second. Okay, we have double fast on both black belts. 11 hits, 1432. We have a sashimi on the menu tonight. That was a quick. We don't know what Kraken 2 has because he didn't get a chance to even talk.
Yeah, that was a big boon for Caleb, getting past what can't be the real gatekeeper of this game. Tiamat, on the other hand, showing a stiff upper lip and dropping that Cure for 4. We do have fast on now. One hit could be enough to get it done, but Tiamat's hitting hard and takes out one of the black belts. Look at that 1800 damage, gets the job done. We're on Chaos.
Okay. So at about, we're going to see Chaos in about, okay, we're going to see him around the 123 mark, 122.57, start the fight. All right, White Spirit, we're going to get fast out there. We're going to get, okay, Punch goes out, 6 hits, 95. Stop goes out, paralyzing the Black Mage, but gets right up away. White Spirit is coming out, so you're going to get that extra, okay, you get 2 Invis 2 cast out, so you have 2 of 6 evasion stacks. You're going to have 3 stacks shortly. You're going to have 4, okay, so you got 3 stacks. Tries a quad X, failed. Free turn. Fast goes out on the big black belt. 16 hits, 841. Nice damage. We have 4 stacks of Invis 2. This feels good. Lock is, he's going to use Lock. He's going to get 70 hits, 1095. We have a little chunky on that Chaos. Gets the Lock out. White Spirit, you have 5 out of 6. Flow 2 goes out on the correct black belt. You have full max stats of evasion. Okay. By the way, on Fizzlebeef's side, he lost that cube when he wiped out of Onrak out of Sea Shrine. Alright. 90 hits, 1370 damage. Get your DZs out and fast. Caleb wins with an official race time of 1:24.12. Game 1. Looking over on Fizzlebeef's side, I believe he is. Yeah, he's paused. He's not moving. I think. Okay, he's recognizing that he lost. I wonder if he's going to try to finish this off. Okay. So let's see here. And we have Caleb in the booth. Caleb? GG.
Hey, thanks. That was a topher.
Ugh. Waters are the true gatekeepers.
Oh, I saw nobody noticed my level 48 black belt getting bracked right in front of Lich. You know,
Was that really? I missed
yeah, it was
that.
like right before Lich 2 on the second dive. Like it was like everything was just breaking against me. I was just waiting for Fizzle to finish. Man.
Yeah, Fizzle is he's doing his. I have to actually count. This is his technically 7th dive into Sea Shrine because he
Oh
did.
man.
He did 5 really early on in the first like 10. No, first 20 minutes of the game. He spent about 10 minutes diving. I don't know if he was trying for incentive item checks or if he was doing TP levels, but he kept wiping out and then went down, got cubed, got to Kraken on his black belt, who was not quite 42, was only in the early 30s, and Kraken did Kraken things.
Wow. Yeah, Kraken punched my like 43 black belt for like almost 500 damage, so I bet that's pretty scary.
It was not. It was not fun.
I was, as soon as I saw Onrak was in Provoca and the Oxiel was early, I was like, okay, I really hope Fizzle takes that bait and lets me go do everything else in the seed, because I'm not gonna do C right now. When I found early C, so many times with these flags, early C has led to like Ruby or something like very late, like a late game, like a cube or something like that, that I was just like, hopefully, you know. And then I was crossing my fingers hoping that it wouldn't be required at all, and that ended up not being the case. It was Ice Cube
Not-
that wasn't required.
Not till late. Cube obviously was down on one of those really solo checks on Mermaid's side. Fizzle did check that first. When he made it down there, he found that, but then again, he went and tried to continue on, and Kraken 1 had other plans. You full cleared left side, but you full cleared it when you had your grind already done, so you obviously were able to light an orb, so it wasn't a total feel bad. We were hoping that maybe you get lucky along the way, maybe find a ribbon, because you're opening up essentially everything. You full cleared seed. But again, another seed where we have no ribbons at all, and there was a lot of scariness. These snakes had bangs. You had obviously Brock was flying around. You had damaged poison from burst.
I saw that in Topher.
It was not a fun script.
Yeah, the Whiz Vamps with Thunder was also gross. Yeah, I mean, I'm disappointed in myself that I didn't wear a tie. I was talking to my wife and I was like, I feel like I should get dressed up. We're gonna be on RPG Limit Break. We're gonna be under the lights on the big stage. It's like I should dress up, and she just kind of like smiled. I was like, nah. And now I see LordFizzlebeef wearing a tie, and I'm just like, man, we were on the same page, and I just didn't pull the trigger. Love that guy.
You know what? I will have to admit, this is the first time I've seen Fizzle on cam, and I definitely saw some hashtag Fizzle faces tonight, and I'm gonna remember them. But you're absolutely right. You took that bait on that early Oxale and tried to push it. Had he done one dip, found the ugliness that was those big packs, and then noped out and kept going around the sea. Oh no, we find Wormek hugs.
Oh no.
And Wormek leads with Thunder and takes out the party. His black belt though takes it out, gets 42,000 experience, and doesn't actually get a level.
Oh, weren't we already at 50 though?
Is he max? Oh no! The one time that you get he finds it again!
Yeah, Wormek.
What shot, Wormek? Man, all that experience goes right
Just
in the fat
toss aside. Oh, third one!
3! Oh my god!
What's 100,000 XP?
What are the odds? Like, seriously, somebody run some math for me. Where's our...
It's a blessed run.
Yeah. So Caleb, you obviously you make a good point. You found your canal. You boogied out of Inner Sea. You made your way down. You checked on Red Continent first. Obviously, kind of slogged your way through a little bit of a dicey waterfall through. But what was nice is you found Elflin at Onrak, and that allowed you to have warp. So you're able to boogie out quick. You hit Ordeals. Ordeals was the one that led to all the progression. It was Herb to what was that?
The Dwarf Fetch.
Yeah.
The Dwarf Fetch to Floater.
Yep. And we had to have Floater because Lab was required. Man, it was a flog of a seed. Turns out Arbunk was obviously somewhere in Sky, but by the time you got there, you had no need for it.
Oh, so Tail was an ice, I guess?
Yeah, Tail was an ice. Fizzle actually, he did dive ice. And you made the play not to, and it paid off because he had a little bit of a, pardon the pun, but he had a little bit of slippery time getting through ice. They were just a little bit mean to him. He was taking a lot of fights that he wasn't losing all his party, but he was definitely losing time to damage and having to heal up over and over and over.
Yeah.
I found that and it was a late tail. It was in the 3 test right before the single drop.
So gross.
Oh, yeah.
That's so gross.
So he made aggressive plays, and you made a bit. You pushed things. But you pushed with a little bit of conservation on your end, and that's what paid off. Yeah, at the end of the day,
Fizzle's one of the best runners in this entire tournament, and I was very nervous about this matchup. I know he is the pillar of speed and power strats. So as soon as I saw double black belt, I was like, well, rip. Like I could do a black belt, but it was like I'm probably like not gonna look for power grinds, like power cycle grinds, because I don't like to power cycle if I don't have to. And then yeah, and I got lucky with the Gurmedusas there in Northwest Lock that went down to a couple lightning 2s.
Yeah, actually, Caleb, if I could jump in here, that was a really interesting moment for us because you were using the Power Gauntlet to take care of Gurmedusas at about the same time that LordFizzlebeef was doing a Power Cycle grind. He actually found a Tyro in the Peninsula of Power, of all places.
Oh, wow.
So and later on, he also found Blue Stake outside the Lefane landing spot, and he took that the rest of the way. But the main grind that you both did was at the same time. Even though you had a little bit more progression, you were both grinding at about the same time. We weren't really sure which way things were going to go. We thought that maybe his grind was going to be a little bit better, but the Tyros had enough HP to live through hits even after LordFizzlebeef hit level 21. So it didn't end up being as fast, 5,000 per Tyro versus your, 5,000 per pack of 7 Medusas.
I was 7 Medusas were giving me close to like 15k, I feel like.
Yeah. Once you had all your guys down, it was 14.
Yeah. Because like the plan was originally like I walked in without saving, and I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna go in here. I'll see what's here, and then I was like, oh, Gurmedusa is cool. Let's see what a Thor Hammer can do, and it didn't really do a lot. So I was like, well, that's dumb. And then but lightning 3s were cleaning it up. I was like, all right, well, I'll just burn all of my lightning 3s and I'll walk out, and that'll just be like my little mini grind until I find a better tile. And then I heard Burt Reynolds in the back of my head saying, don't waste time looking for a worse grind. So they weren't really critting that hard, so I just kept spamming Thor Hammer, and then the Black Mage ran out of Lit 3 charge. I was like, all right, well, you can go now. And then the Red Mage ran out of Lit 3 charges, and then it was 2 to 3 rounds for anywhere from 9 to 15k XP. And I was like, all right, this is fine.
It ended up being a very safe grind because no scripts, no abilities. They were multi-hitting, but even early on, when they multi-hit, they were only really doing a significant amount of damage to that Black Mage. You had that, I think you still only had that chain armor at the time, but the chain armor was actually preventing the Red Mage from taking a lot of bodies from those Gurmedusas. So it allowed you to, you racked up a couple levels early on with those Lit 3 near casters. And then when you did, the only thing that obviously slowed you down was the fact that, if you got a pack of 6, you had to use your Thor Hammer at least twice, if not sometimes 3 times. That was the slowest part of it. So CSC showing some being sneaky and doing a tier 4 yuck.
Yeah, I saw that.
Caleb saw that as well. In both cases, you've both got your buffs up, and it's really just a time waster. If anything, you're happy to see that because Chaos doesn't have it. LordFizzlebeef, though, making through that fight with 3 HP on his Red Mage, and we're about to see a Chaos fight, so let's get ready.
Ooh. That was the beauty, though, from that Black Belt. 20 hits for he's doing a victory lap. He's doing a victory lap.
Yeah.
Yeah. You slog through this with speed. When we look back at it, yes, as I mentioned, you did some safer. You pushed the envelope with some safety on the side, Caleb. So, you made the plays that you made turned out to be the right ones. Obviously, Ordeal, and then you followed that chain, and you kept at it, which led to Floater, which obviously got you airborne and allowed you to finish off the seed. With that said, this was the difference was that sometimes the aggression, more times than not, speed and power is going to get you it's going to get you wins, but sometimes you run into a wall and it becomes the immovable object.
Right, so LordFizzlebeef dropping the extra strats and Chaos hitting back at the Red Mage. deciding to end his life for the cheekiness. We're going for Brax even though the expert didn't land, but this is going to do the job here. Big hit for 889. Chaos goes down at the 1 hour and 36 minute mark. Get your GGs out in chat for Lord Fizzlebeef.
Hey, buddy. GG.
We joined.
I'll make you dinner. So I'll make you dinner one day. Promise.
That was a seed.
I had a feeling I was either gonna live or die by Sea Shrine, and I figured I'd rather skip it. I was like, the Lightning 3 was a good bait, but without warp or exit, I was like, I don't want to do this with just this very squishy party, and I was like, I'm just gonna leave it behind.
When I saw it, I knew that either you were smart enough to leave it alone, and that you'd win, or there was something in there, and then I'd win.
Yeah.
And the more I saw, the more angry I got. And like, I find the cube, I kind of almost get it out, and then Bane, I walk down to Kraken. I'm like 3 tiles from Kraken's door. Sea Snakes, Bane, takes out everyone but my 32 black belt, and I figure, well, a 32 black belt versus Kraken 1, assuming I see some scripts or spells or whatever, this can work. Melee twice.
Yikes. Yeah.
That was when I knew I lost.
I didn't feel good until I got the floater after my grind. That's when I was like, okay, there's no... I mean, if Fizzle followed the same path as me, then we're at the same point. He might be ahead of me, because I took a grind on the Gurmaduces in Northwest, and it probably was like 10 minutes or so. But I was like, if Fizzle already took us, like, we're basically the grind is the difference, and I'm fine with it, because he'll have to get his levels if he didn't get them yet. Anyway,
so I knew from Ice Cave that I was dealing with B-side tiles, but I also was all in on the Sea Shrine gamble, so it's just like, look, we'll just take the stupid Tyro to 32, and then we'll let one of these other good B-side tiles polish off the rest of this grind. And I checked, I think, all of them, and I never found a serviceable one.
You found the single Tyro at the bottom of Volcano in the vanilla Agama.
Yeah.
You know who checks that when you're grinding? I mean, you find that at the end of your Volcano run, if you're just like, oh, I'm just gonna see what's there, and then I see you jump in there, and you had a fizzle face for a second, and you're just like, oh, I hard cycled off of this forever, and I could have just walking grind back and forth. However, deep in Volcano does give you a little bit of hesitation. You don't have obviously.
Tyros. I was gonna say Tyros are too big and they hit too hard, and the power cycle walk was too short for me to really entertain Tyros as a grind in Volcano. I much rather would have done that on the Overworld. It would have been safer.
And then it turns out
it was more a case of just like, I have been searching for something better than this, and this continues to be the best thing I found. Like, are you kidding me?
At the very end, you find T-Rexes off the power grind right by Lufang drop point, and that's just but you never count on that. You never count on it. If you find it, you're lucky.
And at that point, it was like, I saw poison damage out of Earths, I saw Bane out of Snakes, I saw something else stupid I don't remember off the top of my head. And I was just like, you know what? This black belt needs to do Topher exactly once, because that is all the sanity I have left. 50 is a good number. We are doing 50. I know I've lost. I have given up caring.
Yeah, you do 50, and then you get 3 Warmechs on the Bridge of Destiny, and you punch the lights out of them 3 times, and all that HP goes into the trash bin of history.
Doesn't matter, catharsis.
You could say I beat the crap out of Warmech 3 times in a row just to fight Warmech.
Yeah. And if you ever needed a test to know if you're ready for Topher, that's it.
Oh man. But I do have to give both of you, as we were as both Roxanne and I were saying, this is a huge matchup between 2 heavyweights. I enjoyed running. I enjoyed watching this because, again, I continue to learn from both of you every time I watch you runs. So, Caleb, you take round 1, but at the same time, you are running in speed and power. So this is just setting up a fantastic game 2 in 2 nights that I am giddy and looking forward to commenting again. This is just like I'm in the candy store. This is fantastic. So let's do final thoughts. Caleb, want to know, obviously, best of 3. What are some thoughts?
This was a match I was not looking forward to. Fizzle, one of my best good friends in the community, and sort of a mentor when I first came in, and I didn't expect to win, and I don't expect to win the next 2, but I don't know. Fizzle, one day this will end for us and we can go back to playing World of Warcraft. But GG, bud. I'm sure you'll get me next on Thursday.
Fizzle, give us some thoughts. I know this was a little bit frustrating, Speed, and I completely understand, but tell some things that you might have learned or you might do differently. Anything that's on your mind. We'll give you a chance to kind of carry us out.
I'm throwing this jar of milk chocolate almonds in the trash. I'm never eating them again. I hate everything.
Oh no.
No. Oh, don't it. Well, maybe you'll get a fighter. Maybe you'll get a fighter comp in game 2. We can see your dashing, daring, speed and power fighter.
I wanted a dumpster fire. I got black belts.
Oh, well. I will give some shout outs to our crew and then let my partner Ro8 take us away for the night. So thank you, Rock, for joining me. Danny, as always, the amazing tracker, and Lord of the Smith doing restream for us, and RPG's Limit Break for having us. Rock, what are some of your thoughts? Take us away, my friend.
Okay, well, thank you very much, and thank you, runners, for an excellent race. This was a lot of fun to watch, and I can't wait to see what's coming up next. So let's take a second and talk about scheduling. Over the next couple of days, the round of 8 is going to continue. This is where things get serious, folks. In case you haven't been paying attention, we're into 3 rounds now per bracket. So just because LordFizzlebeef is down 1 now doesn't mean he's out. They're going to have potentially up to 2 more races to try and decide which one of these runners will advance. So to that effect, we have got tomorrow night at 9 p.m. we've got Fryteeth versus Jet 2980. That's going to be on Speed Gaming. And here on RPG Limit Break, we're going to have Gregglypuff versus Dangwoo at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Now, if you know Final Fantasy Randomizer, you know that these are some big names. On Thursday, we're going to get the reprise. It's going to be Caleb versus LordFizzlebeef round number 2 on Speed Gaming at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, and Gregglypuff will play his second game against Dangwoo at 11. Friday, we've got the third game between Gregglypuff and Dangwoo, and then on the weekend, we've got Caleb and LordFizzlebeef at 9 p.m. If that third race is needed, that'll happen on Saturday at 9 p.m. And we've got, at the same time, Fryteeth versus Jet 2980 playing their second game. If you've been paying attention, you know there's one potential game left. That's Fryteeth versus Jet 2980. If needed, it's going to be on Sunday. So lots of very high quality Final Fantasy randomizer action coming your way, folks. This is what we play the game for. These are the people we come to see, and they're all going head to head. So it's going to be a huge week. Everything's been said. We've had our runners. They've had a chance to digest. They're going to go back, lick their wounds, and recalibrate. We have a great race crew bringing you the action tonight, of course. As John, my co-commentator, has already mentioned, we've got Danny on the tracking, and we've got Lord of the Synth doing the restream. This has been a Final Fantasy Randomizer community presentation, and we couldn't do it without the help of RPG Limit Break. So big shout outs to the channel, and big shout outs to you, the fans, for making it happen. I'm RockSolid84, checking out for the Final Fantasy Randomizer community. So until next time, keep your head up and don't forget to go fast.